What up gamers, I'm Sir Mav and welcome back to another Anthem video. Short video update today, but I have amazing news to share with you in case you haven't seen the Twitter post or update from the EA website, so let's get into it. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and tap fire subscribe for more on Anthem. So if you weren't already aware, there's been a lot of discussion on loot as of late, especially within the subreddit of Anthem. Summon the loot became a known saying throughout the threads as the BioWare team looked to properly change loot for the better. The issue basically was that if you were grinding it out for loot, your best bet was to basically just farm Grandmaster 1 difficulty level content. If you've ever done a Grandmaster 2 stronghold, you'll know that it can take a bit longer to take down enemies compared to GM1 strongholds. But time and difficulty wasn't really the factor here, it was more on the basis that even at Grandmaster level 2, there wasn't a significant increase in loot dropped, especially relevant loot. So it was basically more efficient to crush it through GM1 strongholds in under 20 minutes than to take the time and complete GM2 strongholds that could take you anywhere from 30 to 50 minutes depending on your squad dynamic. It also really didn't help BioWare's case that there was some weird loot valves that were open for a couple of hours where loot would rain down from even GM1 content. So if you missed it, a while back on March 9th, Chad Robertson, who is head of live service at BioWare, addressed this loot issue stating in the last part of his original thread on Twitter, "In the next few months we're expecting to make significant changes, but we're starting with some incremental ones so we can better navigate that evolution. Our goal is to ensure the best possible player experience." So today marks the first of those incremental changes to loot that the BioWare team will be initiating. So the first news of this loot update came in earlier this afternoon where Chad stated, "We've been listening to your feedback and analyzing in-game telemetry. We are boosting drop rates in the game for GM2 and GM3 difficulty levels as well as selected enemies in the game." And that update that Chad was talking about was server-side, so it literally went live as Chad sent out that tweet. Chad did mention that it could take a couple of hours for the update to hit all the servers, but by the time this video is out, it should be live worldwide. There's also been an update on the Anthem website that gives a few more details on what Chad was speaking of on Twitter. Within the Twitter thread from Chad, he mentioned that a few enemies' loot drops were also increased. The patch notes mention Titans, both Epic and Legendary, and the Legendary Fury, Ursix, and Luminary Elder were changed. So I haven't tested these yet, but my hope is that these enemies will now have a significantly higher chance to drop Legendary loot for our javelins. Time will tell as I run more tests. Chad also mentioned more changes coming into the next patch, which we'll likely see around the 26th at the end of March. Once that's live and I have all the details, I'll provide another update for y'all. So before I got this update out to you gamers, I wanted to run some tests for myself on how much of a difference this update was actually making, and from my initial impression, this update is quite significant. You'll see on the screen the string of loot drops I acquired from the last 3 strongholds I ran. These were all through the Tyrant Mine with my Colossus and Ranger setups, as it was easy to navigate through GM2 without a well-rounded team or coordination. Originally before this update, I would acquire about maybe 2 or 3 Masterworks per run on Grandmaster 2, and most of the time this was with anywhere from 0 to 35% luck on my gear. Well, today when I ran this 3 times with the same Ranger and Colossus, I was averaging about 5 to 6 Masterworks per run, so it would seem that BioWare has doubled the drop rate from the original percentages. I believe this is exactly what we need on the basis of loot frequency so that we will feel rewarded for our time within higher realm of difficulty in Anthem. But what are your thoughts? Do you feel this change will make a difference, or do you feel it's just a band-aid fix to a bigger issue? Let me know down in the comments below. Honestly, I would still love it if we had some sort of system that increased the percentage chance of legendary gear dropping. I mentioned this idea on Reddit, which you can find in the link in the description down below if you're interested. Personally, for me, I would also like to see a function to where we could re-roll at least 1 inscription on our gear. This would allow us players more efficiency in min-maxing our builds for each of our javelins. So hopefully we can see something like this in the future updates of Anthem. And that's all for today, gamers. Until next time, this is Sir Mav, signing off.